I suspect you don't put any of your money in savings accounts.
Not anything that I don't need in the next month or so, for sure.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, there's bonds, and bonds can give you a little bit more yield, especially if you look into corporate bonds, where companies are literally legally required to pay you an income because that's the terms of the bonds that you're able to buy. And moving on from there are a lot of dividends.
Just on bonds real quick, so with interest rates low, it's still probably the yield on bonds is, would you say, not that great right now? Or
well, you'd be surprised. It depends on what kind of company you look at. And many people, when they hear bonds, they think of treasury bonds, which are government bonds. And yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. The yield on government bonds is very low.
Right.
But then if you continue to move up the ladder, the yield on corporate bonds, and these are bonds that a company owes you money. They're basically borrowing money from the general public. And when you buy a bond, you're lending a company money.
Right.
And depending on that company's creditworthiness, depending on their business, depending on what sector they're in, you may get a higher yield for that. And those are some of the things that we look at, and we research all of the details on those companies and what kind of yield you can get. But many of those are actually substantial, where you can get a few percentage points, even higher, depending on how they're set up.
And the risk there is that the company defaults?
It is, yep.
And that's why you need research?
That's why you need research.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I actually love about bonds is that the income that you get is guaranteed. They're required to pay that by law if they're able to. And if they're not able to, typically the bondholder actually receives whatever is left for a company. So if the company goes bankrupt and they can't pay their debts, but they have real estate, or they have factories, or they have a brand that they can sell to another company, all of the proceeds from those assets would go to the bondholders. So there's a level of safety there that's not there for some of the other income streams.
You aren't stuck. There is something you can do to claim the life you want. Wealth Breakthroughs can change everything. Yours is waiting. For the first time ever, Mastering Wealth is about to go from hard to easy with Wealth Breakthroughs.